Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots. It's a gross day outside. I have 2 hours before I need to be somewhere. I am in comfy sweats and I'm going to be using my M1 Ultra today.
For those of you new here, I speak quickly, and if you want to follow along, you can go to the YouTube settings, go to playback speed, and go to anything above the word normal to slow things down. You can also hit pause, but if you'd like me to go a little bit slower, again, the cog, playback speed, and anything above the word normal. So we're going to log into XCS, make sure you're logged in, and get to going. I'm going to be using the M1 Ultra today, which means I just come over to the device settings and choose my machine. Why that's important is, let's say I want to choose this one. The canvas is very different. Additionally, the processing modes could be different. So I'm going to go in and choose, even though I am not connected to my machine, it is not on, I'm going to make sure I'm using the machine I'm going to work with, and then I'm also going to use the processing mode, which you can find right here. If you click on that, it looks a little different if you choose something like the chuck or the rotary, for example. You can see the canvas changes quite a bit. So we want to make sure we're working in whatever we're going to be working on our final project. I'm going to tap on the word canvas and create a file called wine bag. Now you can go out to design bundles, Creative Fabrica. I'm going to put a link below to the ones I created. These are really popular on my shop, so I'm just going to use one of these designs. How we get them in is we can open and release the design from the zip file and just drag whatever SVG we want right into our canvas. Bloop. See this? It just all comes in. Or we can go up to the settings for software, go to File, and choose Import Image. Now that is for SVG, PNG, bitmap, JPEG. Open is only for XCS files. So if you have the XCS file, you can just open it that way. All right. So you can see when I am selected on something, I can see that it is all grouped together. If I deselect the item, all of my menus go away. This is a question I get asked a lot. So if my screen doesn't look like yours, import something or create a shape in order to get these menus up here. Okay? So again, we have processing on the right and we have the entire edit menu and positioning up at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and select ungroup. And when I do, there's a lot of big changes going on. Over here, you can actually go in and change the holly to a snowflake, or import something from AI Make or Design Find. But what I'm going to show you is we're just going to create a basic rectangle. This rectangle, I'm going to go and unlock it so that I can type in my measured settings, which I will show you how to get in just a little bit. But I'm going to create that sized rectangle so that I can group my design back together and move it all, stretch it if I need to, into that rectangle. That is going to give me the actual size of my design, and where it will be produced on the wine bag will come later. So I'm just going to size it here. Then I'm going to go in the very far bottom left, that layer menu, and you can see I have a group, which is my design, and a rectangle. I'm going to delete the rectangle. We don't need it anymore, right? All right, so clicking back on this, I'm hitting Command or Control plus to zoom in. And then I want to ungroup this design because I want to edit only this holly. Now you can see our layers menu. Whoa, look at all that stuff in there. That's because every single letter is separate and the holly. So I'm going to add an outline. Now, there are 72 ways to skin this cat inside of this software. It is a very robust software, but all I did was add an outline. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to send it to the back so you can see my original outline. That black layer is what we originally brought in. The blue is the outline, and that is because I don't want just a thin little outline. I want a processed piece. You'll see in just a second. I'm going to select everything. I'm going to hit subtract. Then I'm going to hit edit or release the compound path. You can see you can piece this together. If you just want one piece a little bit bigger, like the leaves or the berries, you can do that, okay? There's tons of ways to edit this. I'm going to change this to a different color, and all I want is the insert. You'll see here just a second. I just want this insert, so I'm going to delete all the rest of these layers over here. And again, you can individually select the layers in the layer panel like I did, or each piece. So I'm going to go ahead and group these now all back together. I'm going to show you our original design looked like this. And in 2 seconds, we have changed the design to be a better engraving for us. So my point of saying this is there is a lot of design functionality within this free tool, and I urge you to learn it. I'm used to working in Illustrator, and I am constantly impressed with XCS. Okay, so I'm just going to change this to a different color. Okay, now I am going to urge you to save things. Save them, save often, but you don't have to like go ahead and insert all your settings before you save it or anything like that, okay? I'm going to say this is my original design. I'm going to create a working canvas, and I'm also going to create a test and notes. Then I save it because my original design I don't want to mess with. So I'm going to copy it into the working tab so that if I ever mess this up, it's fine. Okay, we're not going to hurt it. And as I mentioned, we don't have any settings in yet, but we do want to make sure it's Engrave. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and save it now because we do have our file. Actually, I'm going to put in some test notes down here after I guesstimate my settings. I'm going to talk about guesstimating in just a second. So I have done wine bags, never on the M1 Ultra. So I am guesstimating my settings here. I'm going to teach you how to guesstimate well. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. Again, XCS does not autosave, so get in the habit of doing it often. All right, so once it's saved, now we can go ahead and we can enter some settings, and we can go to our machine, turn it on, and really get going. But I'm going to go ahead and put in what I'm testing over here and then come back over. So as you can see, I've turned on my machine and I have the 10-watt laser module loaded in. Because the machine travels sideways, I'm going to change the horizontal, or make my design horizontal. And to measure my area, I put a wine bottle in. I'm losing all of these inches at the bottom, and I'll lose some at the top. I'm going to be adding something there. I'm using tape to secure this down. I am not working with any air inside of this M1 Ultra. I'm going to place the crosshair over the canvas bag, close the lid, and hit this auto measure. Now what happens in this system is that the actual laser module will descend, touch, and import our measurements for us. Once that's happened, you can open the machine again, and now we're going to hit this mark processing area. So that we're going to choose rectangle. Now, I'm going to move my crosshairs to the upper leftmost portion of the area I want to work in and press the white button on the front of the machine. I'm going to move the module and the crosshairs down to the bottom rightmost portion, press the white button on the front of the machine, and it creates the rectangle. End marking and done will lock it in. Now, I'm going to close the lid because we are ready to frame, but inside the machine, or inside the software, when I move this, you see it's going to snap those two lines, vertical and horizontal. That's how I know it's centered in my area. When I hit frame, it's going to, when I hit start on the machine, it's just going to map out that nice little area right there in the center that my machine is going to process material in. And guess what? Now I'm going to tweak my design based on, or tweak my settings based on my previous work. So we've got 12 and 50 for this. Press start to send the file. You have to actually press start in the software. Once the file is sent, we can press start on our machine to actually get the machine going. Now you can see I let mine run for a little bit. This is sped up so that I can press pause in the software. Now what pause is going to let me do is have everything be kept the same, open the lid, check the color of the engraving, close the lid, press resume, and then it continues. Now I did this because I am also going to be designing some other stuff and I wanted to make sure I had the right color. So I can't edit this out, sorry. This is the bookmark I'm going to be doing in the next video. Love these from xTool. They're beautiful, but I just let the design process. But I want to design while that's processing. So in order to do that, I'm going to come over here to minimize, and it brings me back to my file. So I can just go ahead and add a canvas here, call it bookmark, drag in a file, get it all set up, measured and everything. I can also create a new project. For those of you still running the very first version of XCS, I urge you to give V2 a try because you can run multiple machines. You can create multiple designs or canvases or projects for the same machine. You can swap machines. I run 3 machines at a time. I love this new software. Have I said that enough? Be sure to subscribe because I love teaching people all of the cool things in this software. Now, you can see it, the orange thing up there says it's still going. I choose the little 3 layered pieces up in the right to tell me how long I still have. When it's done, you'll get a little completion notice. You'll also see I have a green dot there. I'm going to remove this stuff from the machine, and you can see I accidentally left the tape in there. Don't do that. But look, I'm very happy with that. Once I get it into position, I can tie this over, and I'm actually going to tie on some Christmas wine tags that I made the other day. This is a file that I also created, has 8 designs in it. Some are funny, some are fun, some are customizable. And then I'm going to set up for my next project. And guess what, guys and gals? That is it for me today. I try to keep these short and sweet and actionable so you can actually do these things along with me. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you're interested in the wine bag SVGs, I'll put the link down below. As always, thank you for being here. Please like this video and subscribe for more crafting fun.